We were fortunate enough to go to Bristol, where we met representatives from Bristol City Council and Vattenfall, and they spoke us through how Bristol City Leap, which is the partnership that they've got, has been implemented and how they've benefited from PSDS funding to install kind of their energy centre, which is fuelled by a water source heat pump, and feed it to multiple buildings across the city. They kind of spoke us through their project so far, which was really great to see in terms of the intention of the original PSDS Phase 1 project, and then a look ahead of what they want the expansion of the network to be, which is ambitious and really exciting to see. Following that, we left and took a walk along to the floating harbour, where we saw the water source heat pump and the extraction point, the thermal storage that they've got, and the pipework route of some of the buildings that are connected. I think developments like this are important because it links everyone together as a community. It's not every day that you can kind of see a massive water source heat pump energy centre on the side of the harbour. People can just walk past and see it. And I think I always link it back to like thinking of when kids are growing up. It makes it quite exciting rather than having a boiler in a cupboard. And we need more people upskilling and wanting to get into green jobs for the future of the country. I think generally kind of logistically, it's good because if you have one point of an energy centre in a city, you don't then have to connect loads of different buildings to the grid. So if each home or building decided that they wanted to install an air source heat pump, for example, that would require a lot of infrastructure upgrades to the local grid supply, which isn't always going to be the case if you're installing a heat network and you've got to run the pipework to those buildings. I think in terms of also just diversifying the heat load, we know that heat networks can take from a variety of industrial processes, things like energy from waste. That waste heat is occurring anyway, so why don't we capture it? That heat recovery from data centres is happening anyway, why don't we utilise it? So I think there's opportunities for us to be more efficient and more creative that you don't get on the smaller individual scales. I learned a lot from our visit. I was really interested to hear about the partnership that they have at Bristol City Leap and the framework that's meant for them in building and investing in and growing their network, and how it can maybe act as kind of a lesson for other city councils that are thinking about this as a way to decarbonise their building stock. I also take away that every heat network and every energy decarbonisation strategy is going to have its own unique issues. So I think one of the things that they spoke to was having a mussel filter because of the water that's extracted out of the harbour, and making sure that the invasive species don't get in and ruin the pipes. Everything's going to have a unique struggle, but they have a great team, and I think a lot of people working in this sector are motivated to overcome those challenges and make the projects work and make sure that those carbon emissions are avoided and that heat is delivered to the end users.